We already know a fair bit about the post-nuclear fallout superbloomed world of Far Cry New Dawn, but we recently got to sit down and roam around on our own for a few hours. It's clear that while this is still very much a Far Cry game, it's also trying to live up to its resurgent title. All the staples from Far Cry 5 are still here, taking down outposts, a co-op friendly campaign, recruiting allies, one of whom is an adorable dog that can ride in your motorcycle sidecar, meaning this is already a strong contender for Game of the Year. But Ubisoft is also trying to keep its apparent 2018 resolution to change up their formulas, or at least mix and match them in new ways. The biggest update to Far Cry New Dawn is that mechanically it feels more like an RPG than just a first-person action game. Enemies now boast health bars and difficulty ratings, and all of your attacks feature hit point counters to show just how much damage you've been dealing. Its systems aren't as complex or convoluted as most RPGs, even other Ubi games like The Division or AC Odyssey. Rather, weapons and enemies gain power in tiers instead of incrementally via levels or component upgrades. These UI options can be disabled if you want to play as pure an FPS experience as possible, but you'll definitely feel the sponginess of higher level enemies if you opt to engage them with lower level gear. It's a not so subtle way of making the world seem more dangerous, but also coercing us as players to invest in it. Do you want to take down this elite outpost? Well, you're not going to do it with that rusty old ACR. You'll have to get yourself a boatload of ethanol, the ubiquitous fuel source of New Dawn, and upgrade your stronghold with a variety of amenities that make exploring and surviving this colorful wasteland possible. A healing garden provides better herbs to make medkits more effective, the cartographer will be able to chart better maps to secrets and treasures around the area, and your workbench will allow you to craft better, more powerful weapons to use against the most dangerous highwaymen, or whatever else you might happen to run into out in the world. You can procure ethanol in any number of ways, completing missions, taking down outposts, which you can now choose to scavenge for extra supplies at the cost of allowing stronger enemies to retake the abandoned outpost, or you can search for hidden stashes around the map. My favorite source of this precious resource, though, is probably the new expeditions, which take you outside of Hope County, to locations like an abandoned theme park in the Louisiana Bayou or the Red Cliffs of Glen Canyon in Arizona. These short smash-and-grab missions, or infiltrate and escape depending on how you play, are not only fun diversions from the main gameplay loop, but also provide an interesting look at how the collapse has affected the rest of the country.
The highwaymen found their jackpot, alright.
2019 is going to be a big year for post-apocalyptic adventures, and while there are plenty to keep track of, Far Cry New Dawn has done a good job catching my eye early on. I'm not sure how the addition of RPG elements will translate into the full game, but its colorful take on the end of the world is one that I'm looking forward to exploring more of, especially with this little fella. For more on Far Cry New Dawn, why not check out a co-op expedition mission or see what the new Outpost progression system is like. For all your other needs at the end of all things, you're already in the right place here at IGN.